this on tape now. All right, we're going to be doing the Griz on Hilchos Avodas Yom Kippurim, Parak Aleph, Halacha Aleph. If you looked at in Parshas Acharemos, are you familiar with Parshas Acharemos? That's the one I printed out for you guys. What does Parshas Acharemos list?
Very serious.
The Avodah Yom Kippurim. Okay, and what's mentioned in there? A lot of things. If you were trying to find out, okay, the Korban Musaf of any Chag, where would you look? Pinchas. Okay, that's going to be the entire issue here. Okay, because you have this one Korban that is in Acharemos and is also in Pinchas.
Why is that a problem?
That's what we're going to find out. Okay. Now you have to understand what goes on here with this Griz. Okay, the Griz is gonna push his point as strong as possible. He's gonna force you to believe what he's saying, and you're gonna think, what's the big deal? And that's the question to ask, and that's where the Sfar is going to emerge from. What is the big deal? Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind. Like you can assess right now, what's the difference? What's the big deal? Okay. All right, Parak Aleph, Halacha Aleph in Avodas Yom Kippurim. Who's reading? Who? Go for it.
Yom Hatzom. Should I also translate or just get through?
You can translate.
Okay, so on the day of the fast, Makridim Tamid B'Shachar, Tamid Ben Harban, Seder Kol Yom Yom. So you offer a Tamid in the morning and a Tamid in the afternoon, as you do every single day.
All right, so Yom Kippur has, like any other Chag, right? Every Chag you bring a Korban Tamid.
Every day.
Every day you bring Korban. I'm saying right, but it wouldn't exclude the Chag's not excluded. Okay, so the regular Korban is brought on Yom Kippur. The regular Korban Tamid. I'll go on.
Makrivin Musaf Hayom. So you bring the additional offerings of the day, which are Harba Ayol B'Shivak Vasim Kulam Olot. So a cow, a ram, and 7 sheep, and they're all Korban Olas. The Seir Chatat Naaseh B'Chutz V'hu Ne'achol Erev. And the goat that's a sin offering is done outside, and it is eaten in the evening.
Right, so if you looked in Bamidbar, obviously that's what the Rambam, in a sense, is lifting it from. It says, V'kraftem olah Hashem, reach nicholach par b'makar echad ayil echad kvasim b'nei shivat v'miyu. Yulachem. Okay, so, and then it lists the mincha. So there's no chiddush here, he's just taking it straight out of Bamidbar. Keep going.
V'od, and furthermore, and also, Makridin Yoter, or Yeter.
Yes, sir.
Yeter. So there are additional offerings on the Sachzeh. So there are additional offerings on this addition.
Right.
Such as Harbe Makar L'chatat Ve'hu Nisaref. So a Harbe Makar as a Korban Chatat, and it's totally burnt in the Mizbeach. The Ayol Olah and a ram as an Olah. Ushnehem Mishal Kohen Gadol, and both of those are for the Kohen Gadol.
Well, from the Kohen Gadol. Okay.
As opposed to.
Well, it was a common, yeah.
Yeah, fine. But halachically, what's the difference?
Right now, nothing.
Okay, fine. The Ayol Haba Mishal Tzibor. Ham or Parshat Acharemos.
Okay, so keep going.
Vehu Ha'ayol Ham or the Chumash HaPikdim. Bichlal Hamusaf. So in the and the aisle that comes from the tzibor, or it's the tzibor's aisle, that is discussed in Parshat Acharemos, is the same aisle that is talked about in.
Interesting. So translate again. Vihu ha'ayil. How do you translate that?
And this ram is that which is talked about.
Your cue. Vihu ha'ayil.
I gotta say it again.
Crazy.
I'm very down.
The entire
I
thing.
doubt that doesn't happen.
The entire thing.
Okay,
so the entire thing is going to be built off a vav. Okay, one vav. Vihu ha'ayil. Okay, keep going. But even if you didn't have the vav, by the way, what's interesting about the Rambam is he's so verbose. I mean, he says this ayil, which is the one that's found in Acharemos, and it's that very same ayil that's found in Pinchas. I mean, he's giving us like a whole Megillah here.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Vehu Hanikra Ayil Ha'am. This is called the ram for the nation.
Okay, so just finish up.
Finish up the whole thing.
Yeah, just finish up the end of Halacha.
Ve'od Mevin Mishal Tzibor Shnei Sirei Zim. And also the Sirei, the two Sirei Zim are also for the Tzibor. Echad karev chatat v'hu Yisrael. So one of them is a korban chatat, and it's burned in fire. V'asheni seir ha mishtaleach. So, and the second is the seir that is sent into the desert.
Correct.
So kol habehemot hakarvim bayom zeh 15. So we find that all the animals that are brought as a korban on this day are 15. Shnei tamidim, 2 tamids, par, a cow. Shnei ayalim, and 2 rams. Shiv'a kivasim kulam olot, and 7 sheep, and they're all olas. Shnei seirim chatat echad na'aseh b'chutz v'ne'achal la'erev ve'asheni nesa b'fnim v'nisraf. So, and two goats. One is a chatat that's done outside, and we eat it in the evening. And the second is done inside, and it's burnt. Par kohen gadol chatat v'hu nisraf. And the cow of the kohen gadol, that's a korban chatas, and it's burnt.
Okay, so Johnny did the double check that the Rambam was right. It's 15.
Yeah.
Okay, he actually counted to make sure. Okay, so now, all right. So what's the big deal? What's the big deal? All right, so now.
There are 2 deals.
All right, take a look at the Griz. Go for it.
Okay, Perak Aleph Halacha Aleph. So that's the place in the Rambam, and he's quoting Ve'od makrivin yeter on musaf zeh v'chulei. So, and also there's additional offerings to this musaf, to this edition. The ayil haba mishel tzibor. This is still a quote, right?
Yeah.
So, and the ayil that is brought from the tzibor, that is referred to, that is spoken about in Parshat Acharimot, Behu ha'ayil ha'amor b'chomesh ha'pekudi b'chlal ha'musaf. So that's the same ayil that is talked about in Chomesh ha'pekudim, and the inclusion of the musaf. So in Parshat Pinchas, where it talks about all the musafim, Behu ha'nikra ayil ha'am, and that is called the ram for the nation.
Right. So now, at this point in time, if I asked you, what's the El Ha'am? So he's saying it's listed in Parshas Vayikra, and it's also listed in Bamidbar, in the area of the Musaf.
Yeah.
Right, that's all the Rambam's telling you right now.
Yeah.
Okay, and those are just facts. Okay. Yeshayin Sham B'Lechem Mishnah.
Yeshayin Sham B'Lechem Mishnah. There is in the Lechem Mishnah Shehigia B'Lashon Harambam.
Ditzarech Lomar.
Ditzarech Lomar Hu Ha'ayil.
Hu Ha'ayil.
Hu Ha'ayil.
Yeah, not Vihu Ayil.
Hu Ha'hammer B'Chomesh.
All right, go on. So what should the Rambam have said? Hu Ha'ayil. Ha'amar
Ha'ayil. Ha'amar B'Chomesh HaPekudim. Ayin Sham.
Okay, so now what the Briskerov is going to do basically is that he just also the Rebbe Kiva Eger move also. He's noting the Lechem Mishnah's kasha, but he doesn't care what his answer is. Right? He's just saying that's his kasha. Okay, fine. Now he wants to know
Who's Eger?
what
Who's Eger?
Rebbe Kiva Eger.
Oh, who's it?
Is it? No, it's no, not really, but it's a brilliant late afron. Brilliant late out. No, just anytime you see his mark on the Gemara page, be nervous because he's going to ask like a killer kasha. All right. The key point to keep in mind right now is that the Griz is taking up our girsa that has the ha'ayil, right? Vehu ha'ayil, like, and as Yaakov put it so eloquently, what is the big deal? Okay, go.
Big question.
Okay.
Watch this.
V'han nira lomar lefi hagirsa shalom. So, and this it seems to say,
well, based on our girsa, on our text, meaning the text that has this with it, vehu ha'ayil.
Okay. The something.
Svirale.
Oh, that, okay. The Svirale are Rambam. So the Rambam holds the Afal Gav de Kaimalon de Ayla Chadhu. So even though it's been established, like we know that it's one ayil, Nikolakom nonetheless, Havadai Lekuli Alma de Hakrivat Ayil Zeh Kumi Klal Chovat Avodat Hayom. So, this certainly everyone agrees that this Korban Ayil is included in the obligation of the service of the day.
Meaning what? No.
No. Oh, yes. No.
No.
Yes. No.
What?
So
Now
what's
I
it?
know why it's no.
Okay, what's it part of?
Like there's the Tamidin, the Musafin, and then there's like the special Yom Kippur. offering.
Right. So what's it part of?
The special Yom Kippur.
Right.
offerings.
So right now, what he's saying is that it's one aisle, and what's it a part of? It's a part of this
What Yom Kippur.
Avodas Yom. Okay. Remember, on Yom Kippur, you have this unique avoda that never takes place anywhere else. In fact, it's so unique. The only other avoda that is comparable insofar as its unique nature is no. Why Sukkot?
Don't tell me. I don't
Praise
know.
God.
Nope. You only got one left.
Shavuos.
Shavuos. But why?
Oh,
Why
man.
it's
Kippur?
strange.
Kifsei Atzeres with the lechem. Very,
What would they do?
they had.
Yeah.
So it's a dichsiv b'haparsha because it's written in Achrimos.
Yeah, I know. I just don't know where.
First there's Avodas.
Oh.
One line above
The
that.
word is Avodas.
Oh yes. Im Kain.
No, B'nei Marbo.
Oh, B'nei Marbo. Seder im Avodat Hayom.
Right. So what's in Parshas Achrimos?
What's that?
Exactly. So what? So right now, if I asked you, okay, you got it. You can't. You have to keep track of this. If I asked you, the El Ha'am, okay, the mechayev for El Ha'am comes from what? Avodas Yom Kippurim. It's like one of those. Right. It's one of those special avodas you did on Yom Kippur. Right. Special avoda. Okay.
Im Kain. If that's so, bevadai de hakorbato,
Hakravato.
hakravato,
Or excuse me, the Hakravato. Okay.
I think.
Who?
Who? Miklal chovat avodat hayom. So certainly it's being makriv is included in the avodah yom kippurim. Kechol hamasim ha'amurim parsha, like all the other things that are said.
Exactly. So he's saying is that it's pretty clear, right? And he's going to prove it from the Rambam in a second. But he's saying it's pretty clear. Like I said before, he's going to push this point that it's no different. The obligation to bring that korban is no different than anything else listed. Anything else listed, and what you're required to do for that day. All right. Okay. How does he know that? So take a look. He says, keep going. Bayin.
The ayin belashon Rambam. There is in how the Rambam wrote it. Perik bet halacha bet shekata the
V'zel Shana.
Zelashana. Okay, fine. So he wrote, Umakriv se'ir chatad shel musaf hayom ve'ayalo ve'ayol ha'am.
All right, stop. So take a look at the Rambam. All right.
So,
Look,
you think
yeah, print that out for you. That's if you look at the Rambam on it's there. It's source number 5. Okay, Parak Beis Lacha Beis. I even underlined the part you have to get to. Okay, I just extended a bit. So what does it say?
should I just skip to there?
Yeah, the Lovesh
Velovesh bigdei zahav umakdish yadav
Mekadesh Adav Raglav,
Mekadesh yadav,
which means what?
he washes them.
Yeah. By the way,
Still in
The Rambam.
the source.
Yeah.
Rambam, not okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Umakriv se'ir chatat shel musaf hayom ve'ayalo ve'ayol ha'am.
But I'm sorry, just to get the context. All right, maybe I should have underlined it before, but get the context in place. He did the viduyim, okay. He did the sir mishtaleach, okay. He's done all that already. So now he comes out. He's mekadesh his yadav raglav. He takes off his big day lavan. He puts on his big day zav. He does mekadesh yadayim raglaim again. And then what does he do? He's makriv the sir chatas shel musaf hayom the ayalo the el ha'am the ayal ha'am, which would sound like it's what?
Separate musaf.
Right. Sounds like it's a musaf.
Oh, it's yeah.
The hemolos. Okay. Okay. Keep going back to the Griz.
Hang on a second. Oh yeah. Perik Dalet Sham Halacha Bet. So in Perik Dalet Halacha Bet, he says, "Ve'ose haseir hanase b'chutz shehu miklal korbanot musaf hayom." So he would do the
Seir.
the year that was done outside.
That is part of what?
Korban Musaf.
Right.
Musaf of the day.
Right.
Umakriv ayalo ve'ayil ha'am.
And he would be makriv both his own ayil and the ayil ha'am.
So what does that mean? It sounds like there are two ayil.
No, there is. There was, remember, his own personal ayil.
Oh, okay.
That's how. But the ayil ha'am is what he's worried about. Okay.
So his ayil, that's obviously part of Musaf.
Right. There's no havamina to say that that's part of Avodas Hayom. Okay. Shenemar v'yatzav asaz also v'esolas am ad kan lashona. Right. And that's exactly what obviously this is true, but in which I also copied for you in Parak Beis Halacha Daled, right? I'm sorry. Where is it? Sorry, Parak Daled Halacha Beis. That's exactly what he says in Parak Daled Halacha Aleph. In Parak Daled Halacha Aleph, which you don't have, he goes through the entire Seder Hayom, start to finish. In fact, in Halacha Aleph, it starts off Seder Kol Ma'asim Shebayom Zeh Kachu, and he goes through the entire order. So when he gets up to this part, the part that applies to us, the Achar Kach Mekadesh Posha Bigdei Lavan, V'Tova V'Lovish Bigdei Zav, U'Mekadesh Yadav Raglav, V'Oseh Sar Nasa B'Chutz. So we do the Seir, Shehu Miklal Korbanos Musaf Hayom, and then he bring the Ayil Alam. What's critical about what he's saying there? Be medayik. What's medayik? How do you medayik in the Rambam there? What's he saying? Okay, you have it in front of you.
Yeah, I know.
He says the oseh hasair hanase b'chutz. Right, he brings the sair that's done outside. Shehu mikla korbanos musaf hayom. Right, and that's part of the korbanos musaf hayom. Umakriv ayalo v'ayil ha'am. Shenemar v'yatzav v'asas olasav olasa'am. What's very strange about that? Anyone? The Griz says, Hare. Right? It's clear he's making a distinction between the seir and the el ha'am. Hold on, let me just. Again, he's saying that Hare de machalik ben asayir ben el ha'am. Right? He's making that chiluk because he says the seir is what? Musaf and not the ayil.
The Haseir Kol Chovatohu Rak Midin Chovat Musaf. So the goat, its obligation is
comes completely from what?
Musaf.
Oh, so that's an important point. In other words, you see, you didn't think it was such a big deal before, but the Griz is saying what? He's saying that it's clear according to the Rambam that the only source for the sire is the Musaf. So what do you do about the Ayil Ha'am?
Oh, how do you get clear? How is it clear?
About Ayil Ha'am.
Yeah, he went to Aval, almost there. Aval Ayil Ha'am, Av Shehu Ha'ayil Shel Musafim. Aval Mikom Makom, Yeshbo Gam Mishum Avodah Hayom.
Okay, now the other now.
Yeah. Keep going through it.
The Ayin Perish Rashi.
Yeah. Vayim Perish Rashi Yom Adaf Samach Amad Aleph.
Happens to be Amad Aleph, but okay.
Okay, but we don't know that. Fine. So when Rashi says in Yoma Das Samach Aleph, Dibra Matchil B'Bigdei Zahav Chutz, Shekatav that he writes V'Zel Shono Kigon Ayalo Ve'ayil Ha'am Hikdim Lahan Hayod
Hotzas.
What's above? Hotzas Kafu Machta. So Kigon, such as.
No, where'd you go to?
I'm going back. I'm trying to translate it.
Oh, so it could go. Okay, but there's no way you can understand the context without looking at the Gemara, which is the last thing we're going to do today.
Yeah.
So he says Rashi explains okay, which we don't know what it's referring to, the ayil of the Kohen Gadol and the ayil Am. Let's say you did them before you took out the kafu machta, ema akvin alav lifsol, meaning that even though it's done out of order, it won't be ma'akev. You wouldn't say that the order, the avoda is puzzle. Okay? One second. Before you're going to look at the Gemara, what's he implying though?
It's Sheviyam.
What?
Wait, sorry. Repeat that one more time.
No, he's saying that if you did the ayil ha'am out of order, okay, it's cool. It's okay.
Oh, so that means.
So the Mishnah on Samech Amar Aleph in Yuma says, "Kol ma'aseh Yom Kippurim Amar al Seder im hikdim ma'aseh lechavero lo asa klum." So normally in the Seder Hayom, if I do something out of order, I basically done what? Nothing, meaning that I messed up. Okay? Look at the Gemara. The Gemara says, Tanarbanan kol ma'isa yom kippurim amar al seder im hektim ma'isa lechaver lo asa klum. Amar Yehuda im masai b'dvar manasim b'gei lavan v'bifnim. So when is the order ma'akev? When can I not go out of order? Anything the Kohen Gadol does when he's wearing big deal lavan. Okay, but im hektim ma'isa lechavero. Masha asa asli. Rabbi Nechemia Omer b'mever wearing b'dvar manasim b'gei lavan beim v'im mechutz. About b'dvar manasim b'gei zav mechutz masha asa asli. Big day zav v'chutz, meaning that if I did it out of order, wearing my big day zav, it'd be cool. Out of order, big day zav, right? Rashi could go on ayol lov ayol ha'am shehiktim lahem motzas kaf machta aim makal alav lifsol. So, what do you think? What does this mean? It's part of the Avodas Hayom, but it's part of that part of Avodas Hayom that's not the real Avodas Hayom. There's a real. If you took the Avodas Hayom and you split into two, you have the B'Bifnim, which is the really unique thing that only is done in Yom Kippur, and then everything else you did outside, which is stuff you would do during the year as well.
Who saved it?
Hare.
Hang on a second. Hare degam ayil ha'am hu miklom maaseh yom kippurim.
Ha'amar al seder.
Ha'amar al seder.
So there's no question that since Rashi's mentioning it in the area that's talking about the Seder Hayom, it's somehow part of the Avodas Hayom. It has to be. But the Lo Chsif Bey.
Yeah, hang on one second. Yeah, Ela, the Lo Kativ Bey
Chuka.
Chuka.
So anytime it says Chuka and it references that word, it means that it's only Bifnim.
Okay.
Right? Mishum.
Mishum denase b'bigdei zahav b'chutz.
Oh, so it's part of the Avodah, but it's done outside, meaning it's not the Bifnim stuff. Okay? So what is it? We still don't know.
Aval al kol panim be'ikar.
There's a key line.
Be'ikar dinohu b'maaseh yom kippurim ha'amor al seder. So in all respects, in the fundamental of its law.
Yeah, where does it belong categorically? Avodas Yom Kippur.
Yeah.
So categorically, it has to be part of that institution. It has to be part of the Avodas Yom Kippur. Okay. Masha Ein Kain. Now, this isn't so critical to understand completely, but Masha Ein Kain.
Masha Ein Kain ha'seir hana'aseh b'chutz af degam hu tzarich lehiyot acher avodat hayom.
Right. So, but now the Sa'ir, which was done at Bechutz, that was done after you finished the Avodas Hayom b'Mifnim.
Yeah.
Okay. Mitayim achrina hu mishum dichsib bei milvad chatas kippurim kenvur b'yuma daf ayin. You don't need to know that because if that it'll take us like a week just to go through that sugya in itself. Shu din achar legamrei. Okay. Aval ein lo shaychus klal im seder Avodas Hayom. But the Sa'ir has nothing to do with Avodas Hayom. Okay? The la miklal Avodas Hayom hu shenemar bazed din seder. Aval ayel ha'am. Okay? Now listen to this. Aval ayel ha'am af shehu ha'ayel shel musafin. It is this, okay? It is that. Aval koponim hu mimaise yom kippurim amar al seder. Okay? So what does that mean?
This is
in the
category.
Well, this is like make your brain into.
It's done in the order.
It is.
He's putting two categories of Avodas Hayom.
It's the aisle of the Musafin, but it's done in the Maisa Yom Kippurim of the Seder. So umemela the gam beikar chovaso, right? And umemela it appears that what? That in its ikar chiyuv, right? Yeshbo gamishum. Oh, gamishum chovas avodas hayom. No saf al chovas musaf shabo. Hare Rambam. You know what?